All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of I Can Do This All Day. I'm Dan, the Part-Time Avenger. That is Mark, the Resident Jedi.
Hello there. The most dangerous game is man, and today we talk Predator or Prey, but not either one of those good movies. Today, we're here to talk about Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter, the last movie in the Sony Spider-Verse.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I mean, did it matter? Did it really matter when they said that they were going to end it? And like, Kraven's going to be the last one. Like, did they even need to release it?
I mean, yeah, I have no idea, dude. I
Aaron Taylor Johnson doesn't play those games. Like, you fucking release my movie right now. I'm going to be James Bond, bitch. Release it. I think that might be the only reason as to why they might have released it is like, hey, if we could ride the wave off of Aaron Taylor Johnson potentially being James Bond, maybe this will work for us.
Hang on. Let's, before we start with numbers. Let me give you the numbers on Kraven the Hunter. Estimated budget, $110 million. Million dollars gross worldwide. Do you want to guess?
4 million. No, it's like something like 50 something million, right?
It is 61,989,190. 2/3 of that is not US and Canada. It's all international. Mostly international. But I mean, when a movie gets a 5.4 on IMDb and a 15% Rotten Tomato, it's kind of written in the cards that it has lost some money.
IMDb 5.4 isn't awful, but it's pretty bad.
It just hit Netflix very recently. So my guess is these scores will drop.
Let's talk about the movie first. But before we do, what's your origin with Kraven the Hunter?
Kraven the Hunter, very comic booky to me. I remember him in the Spidey comics and in the Spidey TV shows. The dude with the Spider-Man the animated series, right? The guy with the like lion vest and the tight black pants and the patchy little goatee situation with the that climbed around and just was a baddie. That's what I remember. Yeah, I don't remember a bespeckled leather vest Kraven with a geodescent dome. But what about you?
I didn't like him on the cartoon because I didn't like the Spider-Man cartoon all that much because I wasn't a Spider-Man fan. I'm sure if I go back to it now, I'm probably missing out, right? But at the same time, with all of the different Spider-Man characters, he was the least impressive to me because who cares about a normal human being hunting? There's no way, even if he's the world's greatest hunter, that he would be remotely close to catching Spider-Man. But there are some really cool comic book arcs with him in it. And I think the most popular one being Kraven's Last Hunt, where he does, I think he successfully kills Spider-Man or something like that. But I just didn't really know much about him as a character. I thought, oh, this, like, my expectation going in with Aaron Taylor Johnson's like, oh, this guy can do no wrong. He's a fucking badass actor. And he's ripped as shit. So he'll get so ripped for this movie. He pretty much is ripped all the time. So he'll look like a good comic book accurate version of Kraven. That's what I was thinking from a very optimistic point of view. Now, I didn't think that the movie was going to be great. I was hoping it was going to be on par with Venom, which I don't think was that great. But I was hoping just because I like Aaron Taylor Johnson and I would want something to happen with that character in the MCU somehow. So I was hoping that it would do well.
Which Venom did you want it to be on par with?
Just any of them, because they all kind of suck.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Right? I mean, I'm not... You're
not wrong.
That's accurate, right? Okay.
You're not wrong.
Okay.
My expectation was, oh, great. They're doing it again. Ruin another Spider-Man character.
I mean, it couldn't be as bad as Morbius.
Right? You never know. The world may never know.
All right, we'll talk about it. So no other expectations from you at all? Did you think it was just going into a big suckfest?
After watching Venom, I was like, oh, I guess I'll watch this.
Well, you watched it, right? I would love for you to grace the listeners with your version of the plot.
Angry Russian Russell Crowe thinks his sons need to become men by walking on the savannah with lions. One of them's like, "Ooh, a lion," and the other one's like, "Please don't eat me." He shoots the lion, and the lion takes the one he doesn't like very much. And then the kid gets healed by Calypso because I don't know why her name was Calypso, but obviously she needed some kind of voodoo magic. And she gives him the extra cold water from the glacier, this extra cold from the Eskimo man, and he becomes kind of a Superman. He's like Spider-Man, but a lion.
All right.
There it ensues.
So I think you're right with the whole plot for the most part, but you had said something that I was like, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all. And it had to do with some plot point, and yeah, I guess I'm just too. I'm not even gonna fight it. I'll just let it go. Listeners, chime in if you know what I'm talking about. But man, this movie, I couldn't really understand as to what the real plot was. Because is it the two brothers that are antagonists, but one really likes the brother? Oh, that's what it was. The lion. So the lion, I think, respected Kraven at the beginning, but I think it's because the dad shot him that he's just like fuck, defensive mode, and then he starts
Yeah, no,
mauling
no,
the kid.
no. But this movie, this movie stole from so many other movies. It stole from John Wick. It stole from the Penguin because in the Penguin, the dad killed the mom and took the kid away and made her crazy. It's the same thing the dad did with the kid that was playing piano and doing all of the voice imitations. What was with the voice imitations?
So I thought that was super weird until I realized at the end who he was.
Okay, I don't know who he was.
Chameleon.
Oh,
That's the reason why he had his
oh,
impression so good. I thought it was like a running gag. I was like, why is Russell Crowe just talking? And why are they playing it off as if it's Russell Crowe talking? But no, he was mimicking his dad because he's a chameleon. He's a
oh,
chameleon in the
chameleon.
Spider Universe.
Oh,
By the way, I don't give a shit about that character
I
either.
don't
The
even know
chameleon.
that kid. Like that. That's like the condiment king to me. That's the condiment king of the Spider Verse.
Chameleon was in the cartoon. I remember him from the cartoon. So it's interesting that you don't remember him because you were so into the Spider-Man cartoon. But yeah, he was there. But that is your reason as to why. Overall, the pacing in the movie was pretty fast. I would say that they literally jumped from one thing to the next, literally and figuratively. But I don't know. What did you think?
It was a 2 hour and 10 minute movie. It was too long. I was just like, when are they going to get to something that matters? I don't know.
It's
I felt like it went fast to nothing.
yeah. I kind of took my glasses off. I was just like, just let it happen. Let the movie happen. And I did, and I slightly enjoyed myself better because of it.
I kept seeing parallels to so many other movies, like Black Panther.
What's
He's
what's the
basically
John
Black
Wick
Panther.
parallel?
He was the hunter instead of the whatever the weird word is that John Wick was. And he was
Okay,
Russian and he was killing people.
I guess. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of a stretch, but I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I will say that it's very reminiscent of a lot of Disney movies. You know, a lot of Disney movies that I haven't seen. Maybe I'm not getting this accurate, but
Uh,
there's, like, oh, but I'll always love my brother. But his brother turns out to be an asshole and a prick. Like that's
hmm.
it's is it The Lion King? Is it The Lion King where it's just like the two brothers go off and their
I
separate
mean, the
journeys?
lion had a big scar on his face that Russell Crowe killed, so
Hmm.
could have been. Could have been.
Dude, Russell Crowe, let's just talk about him for 1 second. So he always does a good job in any role that he's in. Why is it that he's getting these fucking goofy ass roles, such as, and
Did
this
he
isn't,
do a good job in this? Or did they just give him some money and he showed up and acted like a drunk Russian guy?
I was fine with it. I
I
was
was
fine with
not.
Russell Crowe.
No, no.
I mean, well, what else are you going to be with a bully of a father trying to, kick his kid's ass into greatness?
There's a million other
That's what you
actors you
get.
could have got for this that aren't
Such
Russell Crowe.
as
Any Russian actor.
better than Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Ah,
Russell Crowe didn't do anything special in this role.
no, he was just Russell Crowe as a Russian. That's all that we needed. We didn't need
Oh,
we needed name recognition. We didn't need
we
a
needed
better
name
actor.
recognition. You sure we needed name recognition?
Yeah,
We could have used name
absolutely.
recognition anywhere else in the movie.
I'm saying that they got an A-list Hollywood actor in the cast as opposed to some fucking Russian rando that we won't care about. Basically, any of the cast from The Machine, they could have got, but I still wouldn't give a fuck about them because no one cares about those people. They care about the big name. They care about a Russell Crowe in a movie.
If Burt played the dad, it would have gotten rave reviews.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. But yeah, it's not so much that I didn't like the movie. It was just a lot of questions going into it. Like I've said this before with Venom. I've said it before with Captain America. But as much as a non Kraven the Hunter fan I am, that's not my Kraven the Hunter. Like he didn't have this weird ass origin story. He was just a badass hunter. But instead, you mix a little lion's blood, you get a Charlie Sheen cocktail thing going on,
With
and
the
then all of a
lime
sudden you
and the
can run
coconut.
fast.
Hmm.
Yeah, you fucking are super strong, super fast, and very durable. All from that.
Just so
And
he was basically Black Panther.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I agree with
Just,
that.
but maybe more durable than T'Challa. Like, because T'Challa was
He died.
ensconced in vibranium.
Yeah. And he also died, so
Right? I mean, yeah, but
that is
either way, it's like, what the hell is with this?
I don't know if we'll ever get an answer because I don't think anyone's gonna I don't think anyone's gonna really invest in the DVD commentary or trivia night at your local Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. No one else gonna care that much about this movie. I actually looked up trivia for Kraven the Hunter, and it was like all stupid stuff. Like 30 facts about Kraven the Hunter. It's like Kraven is actually a hunter and he likes to hunt animals and he's very good at it. It was like that's your fact? Like what the fuck? This isn't
I,
trivia. This is
I mean,
bullshit.
I will say it looks like Snow White got a bigger press tour than this movie.
Yeah, which that's another interesting movie.
They've been
I'm
actively
wondering.
suppressing that one.
That leads to the action. So a lot of the action is just kind of sprinkled in there to where it's gratuitous violence for sure. What what are your thoughts on that? What like tell me
Some
as
of
you're
the action,
watching this.
I think that some of the action shots were good. He wanted to be Tom Cruise really bad in this movie because he ran everywhere. He was running. Um, I definitely think that some of the him jumping and sliding down buildings thing was cool, but also like, wouldn't he get hurt? Like that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. He's not the Rhino. The guy with the guy with the fancy lounge fly was the Rhino.
Don't even get me started on the
Oh,
Rhino.
I'll
Holy
get
shit.
started. We're not there yet. We're almost there.
Jesus. Good God.
Oh, that was the best. Like, for those of you that thought Marvel did a bad job with Paul Giamatti, raise all in.
I just remember Andrew Garfield saying like, "Yeah, I took on this Russian gangster in a metal rhino suit. That's about it." Yeah, that does sound bad, but oh man,
But a
this
guy
was
with a
just
lounge fly is even better.
strange, just very
Mm,
strange. And
mm.
I know that they were trying to do something a little bit different to make the comic book characters pop a little bit more, but I don't know, man. You already stretched it with Kraven mixing up lion's blood and some fucking magic potion, but now you got like almost like a Hulk Rhino essentially, right? Because that's
Mm.
he's like taking drugs to turn, or I'm sorry, to not turn into the
Yeah.
Rhino.
He's like
So
reverse Bane.
yeah, and I just so you don't take these drugs and then you turn out to be this super strong, brutish freak. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you're taking the drugs. I just want to be clear. Okay, that's fine. You don't like your rhino appearance. Okay. Um, shouldn't we move past medicine at this point? Like maybe think about euthanasia? Just just throwing it out there because I feel like it's almost ridiculous that you have this much of an antagonistic approach to your own self that like nah, I'll still let it happen. And then he embraces it once it happens. That's
I mean, he
ridiculous.
he definitely leaned in for sure after a minute, just all up in the running and using the horn on things.
And it didn't work. And it didn't
Not
even work in
only,
his benefit.
well, he was up against the hunter,
Uh,
and
and
obviously his medicine port was his biggest weakness.
gosh,
Vanity took down the rhino.
a herd of
Vanity and a tire
buffalo.
iron.
Yeah, and also a herd of buffalo or
That
whatever
too.
they were. Oh my God. Yeah, that character did not work for me. Calypso, oddly enough, I was okay with, other than the fact that, yeah, they totally just named her Calypso just for no reason. I don't know. Is that a comic book character that we should know about?
Not that I'm aware of. Let's see
Okay.
what Google says.
I'm just gonna say that I liked Calypso as a side character to explain as to why Kraven got his powers. Because you don't really get any of that, and it's not really a clear explanation as to why he has these super fucking powers. Is it because of the lion? Is it because of the drink? Is it because of the voodoo that was told about the little elixir medicine drink? I don't know. I don't get it.
Oh no, she's apparently a supervillain, witch of voodoo, apparently.
Of
The
a
sorceress of
villain for
voodoo
who?
and revenge in Spider-Man.
But in
She has
Spider-Man?
Kraven connections from the
Uh,
different from different comics.
Good God, could they at least get a character that people care about? No one cares about Calypso. People cared about the Rhino until until they probably saw this movie, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's not lining up for me, but I'm not gonna really fight it. It just is what it is. And I don't claim to know everyone in the Marvel universe, but that is one that I'm sure no one cares about.
Again, like these are such tertiary characters that it was so
What
formulaic. Like the movie was so like I'm a lawyer or I'm a policeman. Her whole thing, like I'm really an upstanding citizen. I can't get involved with your under the table hijinks.
Uh, okay. What about Dimitri, the brother?
I think that the brother, like being the scared brother, is fine, but then throwing the chameleon thing at the end, it doesn't make sense. The
It
character
doesn't.
arc of the brother makes no sense. Where does he get this power and then change all of a sudden? It as one character would have been fine. It would have been Dimitri, the scared brother. But the fact that then Dimitri turns into Chameleon, like there's any chance we're going to see this character or get a Kraven 2 at any point in life is a possibility. It makes no sense as to why they leave that in the movie. It
Agreed.
makes no sense.
Yeah, the chameleon thing at the end was just like, oh shit, we need to wrap this up in a tight little bow somehow. We didn't
There
mention
was no
anything
bow.
about it.
It was like a backwards ass knot that they set on fire.
Well, they at least gave a reason as to why he was so good at impersonations and stuff. You know, like with that makes sense to me, and I'm glad that they did that because I was just thinking like they're not fooling anyone if they think that this guy is doing the impression when it's clearly the other actors. That's how I sought a little bit of solace in that explanation, just because like, oh, all right, there's at least an explanation for why he likes to mimic his dad. That's all. That's not much, but that's all. If they didn't do that, it would have Marthaed me for sure.
Not much is an understatement to that.
It's a statement though. It
It
is
is a
definitely a
statement.
statement.
It is a thing. It was a movie.
Rhino, just big disappointment, I think. We both agree on that.
Him in his little backpack was really funny. Rhino's got a lounge fly. Let's
What
go.
about, can you look up the Foreigner?
I
Because
did yesterday. It seemed like, and I'll do it again because it made no sense to me either.
I like that actor. I just saw Wolfman with him and Julia Garner in it, and I like him. And I was like, oh, cool, it's that guy. Maybe he's gonna be something cool. He was something. I don't know what the fuck he was. And when I saw that he was labeled or cast as the foreigner, I just was like, okay, should I know this name? Was he in a bunch of Spider-Man stuff or anything? Because no clue. No clue and very tough understanding as to what his powers were. Like he just liked to count, and when he counted, it slowed down time for everyone else.
So I'm going to tell you what the IMDb says about the actual character. So the foreigner is a mercenary and assassin. He has no superhuman abilities. He just trained his body to be in absolute peak condition and is among the greatest martial arts practitioners in the Marvel universe and is a professional assassin, married to Silver Sable.
Okay,
Right.
but
So
this is
there's
in the
a
comics. This is not like
right.
IMDb isn't saying like this is what the character is, because I know they were gonna do a silver and black movie, but there's definitely no tie-ins for that anymore.
Yeah.
But okay, all right, I guess. I guess if he's fucking comic accurate.
Okay.
So
Here we go. Here we go. Um, he possesses a near mystic ability to place an opponent in a 10-second hypnotic trance through eye contact, which makes the opponent believe the foreigner can move faster than the eye can see.
so this guy just has ultimate Riz, is what you're saying.
He's just like,
Yeah. He just gives you blue steel and
that's
then
it,
you're just like
ultra
putty
blue
in his
steel.
hands. Oh my
One.
gosh. Okay, he's comic book accurate. Like, no, he's not even comic book accurate. They totally made that shit up for the movies. So that's another thing that I don't like about taking this source material and really just bending it in this weird ass way, because everyone in the Sony Spider-Man universe could probably kick the shit out of everyone in the MCU because they're so overpowered.
Agreed.
Morbius, fucking foreigner guy, like he could stop anyone. Just look into my eyes. Look into these fucking eyes. And I will riz you to no
I mean,
to no end.
even Kraven is excessively overpowered.
He could rival Black
Rhino.
Panther for sure.
Yeah, no, Kraven versus Black Panther would be if he had the vibranium on, he'd have an edge, but that's about it.
I don't even think it's like a hot take. I think it's 100% true that the Sony Spider-Verse could kick the shit out of a majority of the Marvel MCU guys. It's awful. I hate to say that. It pains me because that's how uneven and unbalanced and just ridiculous these stories are. Shit.
Except for Madam Web.
Throw
All
Madam
them.
Web in there. She could just time travel backwards because she already saw the shit happen,
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, "All right, Craven, you go ahead and punch that guy. He really likes to use his shield, so just take care of the shield, and you're good." Like that's it. That's all you got to do. Just have Madam Web think about something, and then the rest of the Sony Spider Verse can kick the shit out of the other MCU guys. Awful.
I'm never happy that somebody's going to stop making superhero movies. I'm kind of stoked that Sony said they're done.
I think it's about time. It's about time because
Are they
they're
officially official though? Like,
yeah, they said that that was the last of the Sony Spider-Man universe. They're shutting it down. No more. We just have to savor this Sony property as we can since we're reviewing this. So this is immortalizing it in the
oh,
annals of podcast history.
oh yeah, and don't
Uh,
forget we've got Spider Noir coming.
I might have to re-up my Prime Video for that because I'm okay with a Nicolas Cage Spider
Oh,
Noir thing. That'd be pretty sweet.
I feel like the Nicolas Cage Spider. I'll make a bet with you right now that the Nicolas Cage Spider Noir is better than any Sony Spider Verse movie.
Agree with you 100%. I'm sure that's going to be the case, but did we have any favorite moments in this movie?
I'll tell you what my favorite part of this whole movie is, and the part that Martha'd me the most in it, all at the same time. The end of the movie, he goes and he puts on the vest with the fucking lion mane on the back, like the actual Kraven vest,
Yeah.
and actually looks like Kraven the Hunter. We know we're not getting a sequel. He wore a vest already in the movie. The lion has been dead for years. Why wasn't he already wearing the vest?
Because he needed to accept who he was. That was the whole soliloquy from Russell Crowe, that letter that he sent him. He never accepted who he was.
And also, I was like, why couldn't he be running around in this vest sooner? It'd have been a
I mean,
lot
he
cooler
had
than his random leather vest.
the only thing that marthed me about this movie was I thought the brother was just weak sauce the entire time. And then the whole thing, not realizing he was chameleon until the very end. That's what marthed me, is because I was like, why the fuck are they doing this like lame ass audio impression? Because it's clearly Russell Crowe talking. It's clearly whatever actor he's talking about, that's the actor that's doing the voice. And so that's what just irked me. I was like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? So I don't know if I'm out of line for being marthed by something that was clarified at the end. Because it did make me feel a little bit better. That it's like, okay, thank God I'm not being so cruel and harsh on this, because that totally sounded like Russell Crowe. Like, sure as shit, it was, but it's part of his power, in quotes.
But why did he even need to be there?
Couldn't
And
tell you,
how
man.
did he become the chameleon?
That's something too I didn't understand. So did he drink some magical butt water too, and that's why,
I
like,
don't
did he
know,
get
man.
bit by a lizard, and
He
that's why
actually got
he's a
bit by a
chameleon?
mosquito in Africa, and that was a completely different problem. This
That's
is
there's no I
natural
don't
cause.
know. I don't know if there was something that I missed from that, because I was just like, oh, he's chameleon. And then I was thinking like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I was thinking like, wait a second.
No, it's not cool at all.
They never addressed this at all in the
No,
movie.
this was
Right?
not discussed.
I'm not making stuff up. Did I fall asleep? It was not
No,
discussed.
I tried to fall asleep. I didn't. I couldn't.
Okay, but
Um,
there was no chameleon ties at all during that
Not
movie,
until at
right?
the end where he had the weird face, and that
Right,
was
when
it.
he changed his face.
And I'm like, how have you not changed your face the whole time when you were kidnapped and getting the shit beat out of you?
Yeah. Yeah. What a
Like
dumbass.
you just the whole thing is like this makes very no sense.
Yeah. And there were no other references to Spider-Man in this movie. So there's
Not
no
one.
Spider-Man ties whatsoever. Not even once did Kraven utter something like, man, it'd be cool to hunt a spider or something. Because even that would sound stupid, but at least there would be some sort of
He
some type
was
of Spider-Man tie-in.
he was scared of spiders.
Was he really?
When he got the toxin, the thing that he feared was all the spiders
Yes.
all over him.
Yes. It definitely sucked, but
Yeah.
no post-credit scenes either. Not that we needed it.
Yeah. No, they were like, we're done. We're done.
I might as well hand you a fork, Mark, because I think we are done on this episode. But I got a question. When it comes to Kraven the Hunter, can you do this all day?
Yeah. So I'd love to give you a very long and drawn out explanation as to the intricacies of Kraven the Hunter and my feeling on Aaron Taylor Johnson, aka Quicksilver's performance. But I just don't care because I doubt I will ever watch this movie again, ever. I cannot do this today, tomorrow, or any day. That's a no. But we usually are split on these things. We usually disagree. There tends to be multiple opinions on this podcast, and that's the beauty of what it is we do when we get together and we chitty chat, especially about movies that are of a subpar nature. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Dan, and I'm going to say, when it comes to Kraven the Hunter, can you do this all day?
For the record, you talked about multiple opinions on the podcast. Sometimes it's from the same person. Multiple opinions all on the same thing. So the hypocrisy is strong on both sides of the force. But I'm not going to pretend like I'm in love with this movie. But there were some things that I thoroughly enjoyed when I realized, oh, this isn't a Kraven the Hunter movie. This is just a superhero movie. And it just happens to be named Kraven the Hunter. So if I take that out of my vision, like, oh, it's not about Kraven the Hunter, a Spider-Man villain, and that's not the Rhino, the same Spider-Man villain. Okay, cool. It's not bad. It's not that bad of a movie. But knowing the source material very poorly, might I add, knowing the source material along with having some feeling towards some of these characters, Rhino and Kraven and Chameleon, this just didn't do the source material justice. It did not do the Spider-Man fandom justice. The action was sweet. I enjoyed Kraven cutting up motherfuckers with a saber-toothed tiger tooth, whatever it was that he had. And I respected the different actors in this, meaning Aaron Taylor Johnson and Russell Crowe, along with Christopher Abbott. Those are the only three that I respected their acting performances. The brother I thought was super annoying, Dimitri. Calypso was fine. Sorry if I didn't know her comic backstory origin, but this movie is too much of nothing. And that's the only thing that I can say that kind of makes sense as to what I'm feeling right now. It's just a whole lot of nothing. And yeah, can't do it all day because as great as those action sequences are, they're not blowing me out of my seat. And it's just no, doesn't get me. Doesn't get me.
Yeah.
Doesn't thrill me. And as much as I love Aaron Taylor Johnson, he would be my vote for Bond. Yeah, just not Kraven the Hunter. It would have been something different. Like if you put that on Netflix and Zack Snydered it a little bit, it would be a serviceable, watchable movie. But you can't put it in the same breath as Spider-Man or Venom or any of those movies.
I think that you said something very introspective there. If you ripped off all the names from this movie and eliminated Chameleon, it would be a pretty decent movie.
Wouldn't be bad.
It wouldn't
But
be
I think
bad.
the hate is coming from the fact that it was supposed to be something else.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't. It wasn't that other thing. We're not even remotely close. Maybe a little bit of style points on the outfits, but other than that, no. Can't do it, man. Cannot do
Yeah,
this all day.
yeah, and I think I'd like it more. I mean, on a scale of Endgame to Samaritan, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's I'd rather see a sequel of this than Samaritan. But thankfully, we
I
may
don't
not
know,
get
man.
both.
We
I
had such a good time on Samaritan. I think a second episode of Samaritan would be
oh God,
fantastic.
I
But I don't
don't.
think that movie's being made anymore. I heard
I
it had the green light. I don't think it's being made anymore.
Somebody finally got their shit together. Who knows?
Amazon spent that money on James Bond. It was like, okay, Sylvester, so we did a thing, and sorry, we can't play with your little toy Samaritan anymore, but
Hey,
we're
yo,
working on
guys,
James
I
Bond.
thought I was gonna be in a movie. What are you doing here? No,
Oh, oh, you mean you want me to play James Bond? Oh,
Bond, the James Bond.
God. And that's how we do it here at the I Can Do This All Day podcast, everyone. We reviewed the last of the Sony Spider-Verse movies.
Cue the Hallelujah
RIP.
chorus.
RIP. But I'm sure Aaron Taylor Johnson will still continue on and get some good roles. But until that happens, I'm Dan the Part-Time Avenger. That's Mark the Resident Jedi.
Don't forget, like, subscribe. Let us know what you thought of Kraven the Hunter. If you are craving more of these movies and hope that somebody hunts down the rights and makes a sequel and includes the Chameleon, let us know at I Can Do This All Day podcast on most all of the socials. If you're listening, you know where to find us. Look at the links below. Like, subscribe, and let us know what other superhero movies we should watch and take the names off of to make them better.
See you next time, everyone.